Hey guys, welcome back to Brewing with Bill. Today I was going to make a batch of hard apple cider, and I figured I'd cam up and bring you guys along. Now, the equipment that you need: a spoon, you need your yeast, some kind of a funnel, a little bit of sugar, airlock, a stopper with a hole drilled in it, and a gallon of cider. Now, let's see. I make my cider out of this cheap store brand. It costs $1 in my neighborhood. You know, whatever you can find works. The only ingredients in here reads apple juice from concentrate and ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. You can get away with that because I found out there's really not enough vitamin C in this type of juice to adversely affect the yeast. And speaking of yeast, if you watched my last Homebrew Wednesday video, the type of cider that you make dictates the type of the yeast that you're going to use. Now, the cider I'm making today, I'm going to put in a beer bottle and carbonate it. And the way I do that, since it's only a gallon batch and I'm not going to batch carbonate it, I will take a half a teaspoon of dextrose or corn sugar. I'll put it in every bottle and I'll cap it. Now, it takes about 14-15 days for it to carbonate, but then I'll let it age an additional 2 weeks. So it'll be ready to drink 30 days from the day I bottle it. Now, I'm pretty sure that you guys didn't want to see me mixing the apple juice, so I did it off camera beforehand, but the instructions say 1 can of this and 3 cans of this full of water to reconstitute your juice. In here I have 3 cans of apple juice concentrate, but I only used 7 cans of water. Now, the reason being for that is if I used 9 cans full of water like I was supposed to use, it would be completely full. I wouldn't have any space for the yeast. So I only used 7. I took a hydrometer reading, and I found out that since this is still slightly more concentrated, the alcohol potential is 5.8%. Now, that would be 5.8% if it attenuated down to 1.00, but since we're going to carbonate it like beer and use an ale yeast, we know it's not going to ferment down that low. Most we can hope for is maybe 1.1, 1.15. So then we're going to be looking at 4.5% alcohol, and I don't know about you guys, but I just like a little more than that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a cup of dextrose or corn sugar into it, give it a good shake. I'll take another hydrometer reading and see where we're at. Now, you can use table sugar for this as well. Table sugar is a little sweeter, so you don't have to use quite as much to get the alcohol potential, but it's a little more complex than straight dextrose, and the end result is it'll still ferment. It'll just take 2 or 3 days longer. So let me add this sugar, take another hydrometer reading, and see where we're at. And I really need to get the right kind of funnel for this. One of the advantages of corn sugar over table sugar is that it readily dissolves at room temperature. And room temperature is what you want for the yeast, between, say, 70 and 85 degrees. Finally, it's all in. So I'm just going to give this a really good shake take another hydrometer reading and we'll see where we're at. Okay, now we're just going to see if it's all dissolved or not. You don't want anything floating back down to the bottom. Okay, that's better. Now that it's all dissolved, take another hydrometer reading and we'll see where we're at. Okay. Alright, the alcohol potential is 8%. The specific gravity is 1.60 or 1.060. If that ferments down to 1.010, then we'll have 7%, and that's fine with me. So we'll pour this back in. I know they don't recommend you do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Everything's been cleaned and sanitized, because sanitizing is probably the most important step in any type of home brewing, and you guys already know that. Now, as far as the yeast that I'm using, since I'm going to bottle it and carbonate it like beer, I'm going to use an ale yeast. And today we're going to use Safe Ale's SO4 English yeast. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Okay, now this is a 11.5 gram packet of yeast, and it's designed to ferment batches up to 6 gallons. Now, since this is only a gallon, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use 1/4 teaspoon. Well rounded, of course. Just pour that right in. Little bit to make up for what's left on the side, and then you can fold this up, put it in your refrigerator, and use it for subsequent gallons as well. Okay, now at this point, doesn't really matter what you do to the yeast. You can let it sit, you can stir it in. I'm just going to let it sit. So what I'm going to do now is affix my airlock, and then add a small amount of sanitizing solution or water to the top. Okay, there we go. I mean, honestly, it doesn't get any easier than that. And that's it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it someplace. It doesn't have to stay cold, doesn't have to, I mean, it can't be obviously too hot. And you don't have to put it in front of a, say, an air conditioner or anything like that. I could leave it right here, but since it's a clear glass bottle, the one thing that you want to do is try to keep it out of direct sunlight. The UV rays, the yeast really doesn't like that. And this will finish fermenting in anywhere between 5 and 7 days, since it's only a gallon batch, at which time I'll put it in my beer bottles. I'll add the sugar, fill the bottles, cap the bottles, store them down in my basement for 30 days, and when that's done, hopefully I'll do a taste test for you guys. Alright, thanks for watching my videos. If you like them, thumbs up. If you want, leave comments. I love reading the comments. It's actually one of the coolest things about doing these videos. But anyway, as always guys, I hope your week this far has been good. I hope the rest of your week is even better. Take care of yourselves. 17.